brings the details to Lindsay. With corroboration of her fears at hand, Lindsay remains vigilant in her pursuit for the truth. Lindsay, how are you doing this evening?
I'm all right.
We've conducted our investigation as per your request and have come up with some very interesting findings. Are you ready to see that?
Yes.
All right. On this day of investigation, we are outside of Maurice's home. He walks outside, gets into his vehicle, and arrives at this taco shop. A short time later, after picking up some food, our detectives follow him, and he arrives at this unknown apartment complex. Moments later, this unknown female approaches his vehicle, gets in, and they drive into a parking lot at that same apartment. Maurice then proceeds to open the door for this unknown female. They get their food out on the back of his car and begin to eat. A few moments later, with a slap on the rear, Maurice gets a little bit more excited. They then finish their food. He begins to put his hands on her. Maurice then proceeds to put his gold chain around her neck. They cap it off with a smoke, a kiss, and she gives him his chain back. She goes back into her apartment complex, and Maurice returns to his house for the evening. On this day of investigation, our detectives tail him. As he arrives at that same apartment complex, we have that unknown female emerging. They embrace for a hug. She then takes the wheel as Maurice gets into the passenger seat. They drive off together and arrive at a sandwich restaurant. We then see this internal surveillance of them standing in line together, ordering their food. After finishing up their sandwiches, a while later they exit and arrive back at that same apartment complex. Maurice gets out of the vehicle, embraces the female, grabbing her butt cheeks, slapping them once again. And then the female goes back into her apartment complex, and Maurice returns home for the evening. On this day of investigation, Maurice gets into his vehicle and leaves. Arrives at that same companion's apartment complex. She gets in, and they drive off together. They then arrive at this restaurant. We then see them embracing for a kiss before walking inside hand in hand. They sit down together at the table, begin to converse. They finish up their meal before Maurice exchanges multiple kisses with this female. A while later, they exit, hand in hand, get into Maurice's car. Our detectives follow them, and they arrive back at that companion's residence. Maurice then proceeds to open the car door as they have a long and passionate embrace. We then see the companion goes back into her apartment complex. He gets back into his vehicle and returns home for the evening. I understand you're very upset right now. I want to let you know that I'm here to represent you and to get you your answers. That's why we're here. So let's go ahead and get out of this cold weather. I'm going to give our lead detective a call on the case, Detective Gomez, and we'll find out if there's been any movement at their location. If there has, then we'll proceed to go confront them. And my question for you is, are you prepared for that?
Yes.
All right, right this way.